Hello, sales rock stars. Welcome to the All-Star Sales Call. I'm Keith McKinney, Vice President of Organizational Development for New Homestar, and we are happy to have you join us for this awesome sales call. Man, we are just can't believe it. We're already on the tail end of what our industry calls the selling season. And man, we know a lot of people have been running from sun up to sundown trying to get sales, and we are already seeing the awesome results that are already starting to pour in. So speaking of results, let's talk about the results that have come in from our April rock stars. So in top net sales, coming in at 3 was Emily Vasaturo with 9 net sales. Great job, Emily, with everything you're doing there in Colorado. Coming in second with a tie for second place, we had Tyler Eberhardt and Corinne Legault. And Corinne is in South Washington, and Tyler is once again in Colorado, and both of them recorded 10 net sales for the month of April. And then coming in at number 1, I'm smiling because I remember when this young lady walked in my office for an interview. Allison Parrish comes in at number 1 with recording 14 net sales. Great job, you three, on all the work you're doing. So for top net sales volume, so net sales is the units count, but let's go into net volume on the total number in terms of the amount of the homes. Coming in at number 3, sounds familiar, Corinne Legault from South Washington comes in at $3.17 million of sales volume sold in April. Coming in at number 2, Tyler Eberhardt with $3.19 million in homes sold. And number 1, of course, Allison Parrish from Colorado at $5.95 million in 1 month sold. Congratulations to all of you. Man, what a month. And we know that many of you out there had record months for yourself that you had set goals for. Congratulations to you as well. So we are excited about everything that's going, but we are excited for today. And today we're going to have a little bit different of a format. We're going to do kind of a round table discussion for our All-Star Sales Call today. And with me today, I have joining me where we're going to be discussing a few little things. We have Odu Akapeti. He is hailing all the way. He is hailing all the way from Cape Coral, Florida, part of our Miranda Homes division there. We also have Mr. Kyle Verbeek. He is part of our Miranda Homes division in Tampa. And then we have Miss Christy Quick adding some beauty to our group here, coming from DeLand, Florida, part of our Gallery Homes division there. And so we're going to take a few minutes here and just talk about some things that are happening in our industry, and that's important that we know that sales associates deal with all the time, and we're glad you could join us for this discussion. First, let's talk about the industry. Kind of feels like the selling season has kind of just passed on us, okay? Right after, the marker for the industry has long been right after the Super Bowl, everything picks up. And so you get the sales starting to come in, but now we go towards the summer and all the logistics that families have and deal with during the summer. Like, what are some ways that our sales associates that are watching today and our executives and all of our friends at New Homestar that are watching, what are some things they can keep in mind about how to keep urgency going during the summer months?
Well, Keith, what I would say is to create your own selling season and reach out to all of your referrals in the community. make the appointments with your potential buyers. And I would use words like pop on in, things that makes it so that it's not as stressful for them. It's a fun time for them and their kids. They want to be out with their family. So, I think just the verbiage that you use and create a little urgency when you're talking to your buyers.
So I love what you just said in terms of my face scrunched up right now because I had never thought about the verbiage that you use, because I think a lot of people are trying to reach out to their customers. So you're saying, like, even in the subject line of your emails,
Right, yes.
and stuff like that, like pop on in.
Pop on in, or let me pencil you in for an appointment. It
Okay.
kind of takes the stress from them visiting you, and so they don't feel like they're like pinned down to, commit as quickly, but they can also have fun when they're doing it,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that in the summer months, you tend to have a different type of buyer, and understanding their motivations will truly help and why they need to be in their home. For instance, they are going to be extremely busy throughout the summer. There's a lot going on, whether it is they're taking the kids to practice or summer camps and things like that,
that's right.
getting prepared for the new school year.
Yeah.
So in that sense, the real motivation could be they need to be in their home before the new school year starts.
Okay.
And now is the time to make that happen. Now is the time, especially if you have inventory homes that are ready to go, to really build that urgency that way, so before the hectic school year begins, they can be in their brand new home.
Yeah, I love what you just said, because we have some people, you might be sitting on that inventory home that you haven't had, it's kind of been sitting there a while. Everybody know it's you got that inventory home where it has them slightly distasteful countertops in it, and it has this stuff. But if there's ever a time where you could put a positive light on that and get somebody in that home, it's now.
Sure.
When they're under that urgency play, and it makes that happen.
And two, also maybe take like some of your Sammy initiatives and make them around the time of the seasonality that we're in. It's the weather's nice out. Make an event at your model home, like a barbecue or something like that, to make sure that people are actually physically coming out, doing those family things inside of the community. And then two, also work with your superintendent or your field manager to make sure that the last day of the year that you can potentially sell a new build home to get them closed before either the beginning of the school year or towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I like what you said is the thing you mentioned, Sammy, and we were going to talk about, how do you increase traffic? But the key thing you just said was do events that bring people. This is the time of the year where we talk about doing events and things where you go out and find people to bring them to your community. Well, this is, if I heard you right, you're talking about this is the time of year to where you bring people to your community so they can experience it during the summer. Was it? I think that's what that was key. What you just said right there.
Yeah, you want to drive incremental traffic because people are going to be busy. The kids are out of school. They are taking the family vacations that Odu mentioned and everything like that. So time is limited. Depending upon your target consumer group as well, you also might want to focus your Sammy efforts through that lens too. So
yeah, and Christy, you have your unit is kind of in a off the beaten path, and trust me, DeLand, Florida is amazing. Voted #1 downtown in all of America, Main Street. So but it's still kind of remote from a metro area. So we have a lot of people watching where maybe they're not in a metro city area. So what are some ways that you would bring traffic through Sammy to your community?
Well, I mean, what I would do is I definitely would get with a community or that you're working in, and maybe create like a lemonade stand. It's a cute little idea, and get your directionals up during the summer. And some of the little kids like to help with a lemonade stand.
Yeah.
So just getting people involved and letting them know that you have some activities going on. I think it's a great way to get people down into your community.
So not only just do the event for your community, but get your community involved, your current homeowners, get them involved in what you're trying to plan. And that just adds more marketing hands to help you pull your event off.
Absolutely, and I think that it creates some camaraderie. I'm sorry for that.
That's good.
It gets the people together, and it gives the families a sense of that's the place they want to raise their children. You know, in a community that has fun. There's kids involved. It just depends on what community you're in.
And Odu, I know you've had several homeowners that have, and you guys too, that have already closed on their houses, and you're in a community where that sense of community is starting to take place. And I heard what you said, Christy, is like getting them involved. What's the power of getting the customers involved that way and making sure they draw in?
Oh, it's so important and it's so crucial, especially in what tend to be the slower traffic months in the summer.
Yeah.
You want to definitely capitalize off of that referral business from past clients.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting too? Sometimes there are a lot of challenges on the ground during construction, and sometimes we think if a buyer had a couple of hiccups throughout the construction process that they might not be as enthused to provide that referral, but you'd be surprised. I know myself and my team, we've had a lot of shocks where when we reached out to that buyer, a few months later after moving in, no, they forgot about that little thing that was in the corner that they were complaining all about, and they've moved in, their furniture's in, they've made it their home, and they will be excited to tell their experience to others.
Right.
You can really drive that traffic and whip it in the summer.
Yeah, you know what's funny is that I've heard countless sales trainers, and it's a message that's not exclusive to New Home Star, but I have heard this message as long as I've been in new home sales, where you gotta ask referrals, you gotta ask for referrals, you gotta ask for referrals, and for some reason, as salespeople, we're hunters. All of you, like, we're hunters, and so we're always hunting for the next feed, and going back to our current homeowners and asking for a referral tends to be one of those activities that we don't focus on as much. Why is that?
Well, I think that we are afraid to ask for the referral. It's really something I would never be afraid. It's almost like asking for the sale. You know, Speaking of referrals, I've done something a little creative in my past. During the summer, you know, of course, I would always do the handwritten thank you notes, but always just driving that referral word home. And I would stick a sticker that says "We love referrals" on the outside of the envelope, and always write in your hand "Thank you" on the envelope. It tends to make your buyers or referrals to open that envelope, and it just drives that referral word home.
Yeah, you brought up some valid personal touch points, Christy, in our electronic world today, where this whole thing is on YouTube. But in our electronic world today, where it's digital and it's Twitter and it's Facebook, and we get in this habit of communicating electronically, we forget about the personalization of just putting it in the mail, or even when you see them outside gardening, you just stop and say, "Hey, those flowers are looking great. Oh, I wanted to drop this off to you."
That's
Like
right.
we miss that personal touch, and because we get caught up in the digital world today. I digress as I get on my soapbox here, but but it's important, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you think about it, most of these people who have purchased a home from you have probably spent 7 to 8 hours with you anyway. So they value the what you invested in them to find a little bit about their life, and you connected a bridge to a place where they're going to make memories. So if you did a service for them, they're probably going to want their family and friends and everybody that loves them to be in a similar community or be provided with the same level of service. So we almost do ourselves a disservice by not asking them for referrals, simply because we've done such a great job already in asking for the sale and getting them across the finish line and close on their home. So make sure that you do go out and ask, whether it's be standing out in front of the community, helping somebody move in, something along those lines, or make sure you ask every single person, because you never know. In my particular community, I had one person that ended up having their son and daughter come and move in, and then just sold to their sister this past Sunday.
Wow,
So now there's 3 people in the family in the community, and they're fantastic people to work with. So if you provide an excellent premium service to our clients, then it's easier to ask for the referral.
Yeah, if we was to take a note from different entities that have been making money off of the pyramid scheme or the pyramid setup, the whole thing is based around there is somebody who knows more people than you know.
That's right, Keith.
And so the whole point of referrals is, we do marketing, we partner with our builders, and we have the marketing director, and they're sending messages out there, and we're trying to do our Sammy, but there's somebody who is a top leader of a church near you that has 500 people in it that knows more people than you know. So by reaching out to them and kind of creating these branches, so to speak, it allows you to touch more people. And if these referral avenues produce 2 to 3 more sales, and specifically produce 2 to 3 more sales for you during these summer months, how much better off would we be?
Well, you know, too, Keith, I find that during the summer, a lot of people are really getting nested into their home, and they'll have like a housewarming party.
Yep.
So I would always, you know, reach out, make sure you're still in touch with your customers. It wasn't just a transaction, right? You've made a
Yeah.
friend. And what I would do is offer to bring something to that
Yeah.
housewarming party, show up with
Right.
it so that you can kind of work the room, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's always a great tool to get more
Here's
referrals.
what's funny, like as a salesperson, we talk about we always talk about, hey, I'm gonna get them a housewarming gift. You know, I know throwing a housewarming party is stressful. It's stressful. So what if you said, hey, what kind of meat were y'all planning on
Right.
cooking? Why don't you pre-order a brisket and say, hey, let me take care of the meat. Let my company take care of the meat for you.
Right,
A
something small.
cooked brisket is what, 40, 50 bucks?
Yeah.
It's the same price that we're using to bring them a housewarming
That's
gift,
right.
but now their whole family can enjoy it, and everybody's gonna remember, hey, that brisket was good that Miranda Holmes brought us, man. Remember that? Like, it's something that they can remember, and it's kind of being creative, right?
Right.
It's a small touch, and you know, it's just the little things that make a difference in this world. And I think if you stay in contact with your buyers, they'll remember you when somebody's looking for a home.
Yeah. So listen, it's summertime. Summertime, everybody well, in certain regions of the country, you think pool, you think beach balls, you think, hey, it's time to go hiking in the Colorado area. In some places, time to go biking. Everybody starts thinking outdoors, except Chicago. No, I'm kidding. We are in Chicago for our All-Star Sales Call right now, and it's beautiful. And we're here with our LDP group, and three wonderful individuals that joined us today are part of our LDP program. You know, we're just excited about everything that's happening here at New Homestar, and we are excited about everything that's happening in your market. So, hey, you got some great tips today through this All-Star Sales Call on how to create urgency, how to increase traffic to your communities, and this is the perfect time to foster and cultivate those referrals. That way you can prepare yourself through the summer and setting yourself to have a great end of the year. I'm Keith McKinney. Thank you for watching us on this version of the All-Star Sales Call. We'll see you next month.